When you give consequences to your kids, are they emotional threats or are they opportunities for learning and for teaching? Discipline and punishment are often things that get very confused. In this video, we're going to dive into what they mean and what we should be doing as parents. First things first, what do these words mean? Discipline is the practice of training people to obey, follow rules or a code of conduct with consequences given for those who fail to comply. This is an intentional and premeditated way of training. It has been thought through and it has been created before any offense has been committed. Now, punishment is the infliction or imposition of a restriction, penalty, or suffering for an offense. This is talking about the result afterwards. The offense has been committed and the punishment is what happens after. Punishment isn't a bad thing. And I don't want to knee-jerk react one way or the other. This whole channel is about parenting in the middle. We've got to find this balance, right? But punishment is not a bad thing. We need justice, right? We have the court system that hopefully brings justice. And in our home, we need to have justice as well. If there is an action, then that action brings a consequence. And it is our job to bring justice in those situations. The problem I see is that most homes, they don't have a law in the home. They don't have a consistent way of giving this justice. A lot of the time, parents give justice in anger. They are reactive to what their kids are doing, and they don't give true justice because they're doing it out of emotion. When we give emotional consequences, it's not always a good thing, and actually, usually it's just bad because we say something because we are hurt. If our emotions are involved, it means there's something wrong with us. We shouldn't be getting overly emotional for something that the kids have done, right? We need to keep our cool and we need to give consequences that are actually accurate and meaningful to what the offense was. The future of our children is very important, and we need to have enough emotional control to give good consequences that are going to teach them how to grow up, how to mature. Let's look at how to fix this. Obviously, we can't know exactly what these kids are going to do every day. We cannot predict the things they're going to do and, write down 1,001 different consequences for each of course not. That's ridiculous. But we can have a bit of an idea of what they're going to do. You should know your kids pretty well. If you don't, get onto that. You really need to know them. But our kids are predictable. You've known them since birth. Sally, she tends to do these things. Jonathan, he tends to do that. Sorry to all the Sallys and Jonathans out there, but we know our kids and we know what their tendencies are. Sit down with your partner and look at what the different kids usually do and how you would best give a consequence to them for that action. There will be some consistent behaviors that you don't appreciate, that you don't want them to keep doing. Write down those behaviors, those actions, and then write down some appropriate consequences. They should be clear, they should be fair, and they should really give the child an opportunity to learn from the consequence. Now, by writing this all down, you're not only having a good system for justice, but when push comes to shove and you're in that tense situation, you can keep a calmer heart because you know what you're going to do. It's like instead of being in this, emotional situation and you don't know what to do, but you know they need some sort of consequence, now you don't need to. You can keep your composure, and when everything's going crazy, you know they're doing this thing, you've already written it down, you know what's going to happen, and you can calmly say, well, you've done this, now we're going to do this. It helps us as parents to stay calm in those situations just by writing it down. Very helpful. So what is this going to look like practically? let's say your child does something and maybe it's on your list that you've written down, right? You know what to do. You know what's going to happen and you know what they're going to receive for having done that thing. All you need to do is calmly state what's now going to happen. They did X, therefore there will be a consequence of Y. So you just say, hey, Samantha, you did this. I've told you not to do that. Now the consequences are going to be this. That's it. That's all you need to do. There is no anger. There is no frustration. You're completely self-controlled. And interestingly enough, when we stop being emotional when given punishments, the kids start thinking like, what? Like, what's wrong with mom? What's wrong with dad? Why are they so calm? And think about it, right? If you had a teacher at school and they give you a punishment, they give you a consequence, and they smile while they're doing it, freaks you out, right? It's like, why are they smiling at me? If the teacher's like, going nuts and like screaming at you and throwing chalk or whatever they used to do, they don't, it's almost like you deserve to be upset with them because they're upset as well, and you kind of match each other's emotions. But when someone in authority states something to you calmly, coolly, with self-control and a bit of a smile, not a creepy smile, like don't go all weird and like, give your kids a consequence and go, that's just weird. Don't do that. But if you're calm, it's very powerful. And they'll start to see, hey, whoa, actually, this is different. Like, they have true authority. They will challenge you, and they will want to see if you're for real. They're going to see, well, they were calm one day, but if I do that thing again, are they still going to be calm the next time? And so your job is actually really easy. All you need to do now is be consistent. They're probably going to try again, okay? And so they do it again. Mirror the same thing you did. Exactly the same. Samantha, you did this. Unfortunately, the consequence is this. That's a shame. Done. Now, what this does in the child's heart is incredible. They start to trust you more. They start to trust in your leadership. And they will actually feel that you love them more. If you're willing to do something like that for your kids, they will love you for it. They might not say that, especially immediately when you start giving consequences that you didn't used to give, but they will love you for it. If this is a bit of a struggle, if it's hard to do, I understand. It's not easy sometimes. We love our kids, but we need to love them enough to give them consequences. Because what is the result of never giving them consequences? They're going to grow up thinking the world needs to bow down to their feet and that no one will ever stop them and that what they want is the most important thing in the world, right? We need to be parents that love them enough to give them consequences. If you have any questions, of course, stick them in the comments. I'll read and answer as many as I can. I've also got a free ebook if you want it. It's in the description. See you in the next video.